So here we have a summary of our differentiation rules. So this is page 25 of our formula book, and it's titled Calculus, and specifically derivatives. So here we have the product rule, the quotient rule, the chain rule, and here we have a list of functions and their derivatives. So rule number 1, if c is a constant and u is a function of x, then dc times u dx is equal to c times du dx. So you bring the constant out in front and differentiate the u. Rule 2, if u and v are functions of x, then du plus or minus v dx is equal to du dx plus or minus dv dx. So basically you just differentiate separately. Rule 3, the product rule. If y equals u times v, where u equals u of x and v equals v of x, then dy dx equals u times dv dx plus v times du dx. Rule 4, the quotient rule. If y equals u over v, or u divided by v, where u equals u of x and v equals v of x, then dy dx equals v times du dx minus u times dv dx all over v squared. Rule number 5, the chain rule. If y equals f of x equals u of v of x equals u after v of x, then dy dx equals f prime x, which equals u after v prime x, which equals du dv multiplied by dv dx, which equals u prime v of x multiplied by v prime x. So a shorter way or a simpler way of explaining this is we differentiate the outside function and then we multiply it by the derivative of the inside function. So chain rule for powers. Du to the power of n dx is equal to n times u to the power of n minus 1 times du dx. Or simpler, differentiate the power, keep the base, and multiply that by the derivative of the base. So basically outside multiplied by inside. Chain rule 2, trig functions. d sine u dx is equal to cos u times du dx. d cos u dx is equal to minus sine u du dx. And d tan u dx is equal to sec squared u du dx. Or put simply, differentiate the trig function, keep the angle, and multiply that by the derivative of the angle. So again, it's the derivative of the outside multiplied by the derivative of the inside. So the outside-inside function. Chain rule 3, inverse trig functions. d cos inverse u dx is equal to minus 1 over root 1 minus u squared times du dx. d sine inverse u dx is equal to 1 over root 1 minus u squared times du dx. And d tan inverse u dx is equal to 1 over 1 plus u squared times du dx. Or put simply, differentiate the inverse trig function, keep the value, and multiply it by the derivative of the value. So again, differentiate the outside and multiply it by the derivative of the inside. Chain rule 4, natural exponential functions. d e to the power u dx is equal to e to the power u times du dx. Or put simply, what we're given, so just write down exactly what you're given and multiply it by the derivative of the index or the power. Chain rule 5, logarithmic functions. d ln u dx or d natural log u dx is equal to 1 over u times du dx, i.e. differentiate the log and multiply that by the derivative of the value. And lastly, chain rule 6, general exponential functions. d a to the power u dx is equal to a to the power u ln a times du dx, or a to the power u natural log a times du dx, i.e. differentiate the exponential and multiply it by the derivative of the index or the power. So although the chain rule is always basically the derivative of the outside function multiplied by the derivative of the inside, it's still important to know the difference between them. And personally, I think these sentences are a good way to summarize them. So you don't need to learn off by heart product rule, quotient rule. They're given to you in the formula book, but you do need to learn off the different types of chain rules.